What's up, everybody? MrGuideKing here, bringing you another Final Fantasy 13-2 walkthrough. This is part 15 in our journey. Let's get this started. In part 14, we just finished up the Yasha's Massive 10 AF main story requirements. Now we're going to be going into the gate, and we're going to be traveling to not Brescia Ruins, excuse me, we're traveling to Oreba 200 AF. So this is the gate. It's located in the southwest portion of the map. All you gotta do is follow the waypoint, and you will be transported to Oreba 200 AF. Yay, it's opened up, sweet. Now there are, I believe, 3 different Orebas with a hidden 4th. Oreba 2, 3, and 400 AF are all accessible through side gates and main storylines. So if you guys are missing some of them, look for the Orebas, 200, 300, 400 AF, and then the extra alternative ending Oreba would be the 4th and final one. Alright, the first thing you want to do is when you get into Oreba is after the cutscene, turn around. Literally, as soon as you exit the gate, turn around. There is a hidden artifact that you can grab right now, or not artifact but fragment. It's called the Giant's Egg, and it's located right behind the gate. It's hidden though, so you got to use your Moogle Reveal ability, and this will help you find the Giant's Egg.
Is affecting space-time itself.
Right, and we have to find out what's causing this. Okay.
Whoever it was that created the paradoxes, did they really want to?
Alright, so let's go ahead and get that Giant's Egg. I believe it's in the lower left-hand side. Yep, there it is. Okay, that's worth a whopping, I believe, 200 CP is the Giant's Egg. Yep, 300 CP. Now remember our rule for the guide: if you aren't leveling 1 Crystarium expansion per episode, then you're under leveled. So if you have over that, you're just fine, but if you have under 1 Crystarium expansion per episode or per area, then you're in trouble. You should do some quick leveling up, because the boss battles after this point get really hard. The bosses, especially Caius Vallis in his mini forms, start doing some tricky things. But back to the guide, we get introduced to the void beyond, kind of in between timelines, little puzzles we get. There's 3 types. There's the Hands of Times, Crystal one, and the Tile Trial game. On these ones, all in Oreba 200 that you're going to encounter are the crystal connections, and all you have to do is connect the matching crystals by hitting the A button or the X button and matching that string or the thread to the next crystal. Pretty easy. So you can see it kind of gives you a map like connect the dots, and then you're going to take the matching crystals and put them together. So there, just hold down the A button to make the thread happen. See, pretty easy. And there it is. The first one's only 1 level. Now these can progress up to 5, even 6 levels. So the higher you get up in a level for each one, the harder they get. Some of the timers even go a little bit quicker. You only have about 20 seconds or 30 seconds to solve them, and there's 15 crystals or 16 crystals. So they do get a lot more challenging. But the harder of the 3 puzzles would be the Hands of Times. And with that done, we're going to be able to explore a little bit more Oreba and continue. So each time the Oreba is not accessible, you have to find these the voids. They're like little gates that Mog can reveal. Alright, let's skip over that fight. Yeah, so every time Mog goes crazy like he's revealing something, That's just probably another one of the gates that you have to get in order to expand the map of Oreba. So right now we're going to equip some more of our items to Null. I got a little power wristband that's going to increase his strength by 10%, and then I'm going to give Sarah the magical resistance one of 15% for the rune bracelet, so that gives her a resistance to magic of 15%, which is a good help for her. She doesn't have as much HP as Null, so we're going to give her kind of some defensive buffs. If you can, equip her with some magic and physical resistor attachments, whatever you can find. Oh, skipping over another one. I picked up that little guy from the fight that I just skipped over. He's a synergist. If you guys want to have a synergist on hand, you can. But I'm going to wait until I pick up a certain synergist, the acsess, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to pick him up later in the game. I highly suggest you have that in a cloud burst. The acsess and a cloud burst are great synergists and a ravager. So let's skip over this one as well and continue on. There's a treasure sphere down here that contains the map of Oreba, which is really helpful to see what parts of it you've explored and what parts you haven't. Another fight we're skipping over. Alright, and then here's Chocolina right here. So Chocolina doesn't really have any new accessories or weapons so far. I'm just going to buy a couple wound potions for later. Just a heads up, the boss battle in this area is Caius Balas. This is the first time we're going to face Caius. And he's no walk through the park. He can be a pretty tricky bastard. He does a lot of physical and magical attacks, as well as status buffs to himself and then status debuffs to you. So there's quite a bit of leveling required and quite a bit of a strategy for his fights. It's also important that you have a sentinel, a high-level sentinel, like a Pulsework Knight maxed out or another sentinel that's completely maxed out. I'm debating right here whether to learn the commando bonus roll or not. Nah, screw it. I think I'm going to go with the synergist. I'm going to need somebody to buff us up. Especially with the upcoming fights, I'm going to need to cast like Protect and Faith and Bravery and all that shit. So that's what Noel and Sarah are good for. And your characters should be getting to that close, that milestone 1,000, over 1,000 HP. They should be getting pretty close to that. Their strength for Noel should be well over 100, and Sarah's magic should be well over 100. So if you don't have those base stats right now, I suggest you do some training in Oreba. Or if you opened up the Sunlith Waterscape gate through Brescia Ruins 5AF, I suggest you go there as well for some leveling up, because you're not going to be able to advance in the storyline unless your characters are a little more buffed up. Alright, so Mog went crazy again, and the second little time shift split thingy is right in the middle, and it's going to open up more of the map after we complete it. It's a nether crystal thread. Connect the dots. Tile fucking thingy. There it is. Okay, let's keep going.
Another head scratcher.
Alright, let's connect the dots on this one. I like to start up in the upper left-hand corner for some reason of every one. I think it's just, I've found that they match quicker, and you can kind of work your way down from the top to the bottom. That's what I like to do. It makes it. I just think it makes it a little bit quicker instead of working from bottom to top. Kind of top to bottom works a little bit better for me. This one has 2 stages. So that was the first one. pretty easy. And then the second one has just a little bit more crystals. So once again, I start from the top. These bastards are freaking... There they are. Jeez. Alright. There we go. Now I get on a little roll. Oh, I missed one. Great. That's embarrassing. Alright, there we go. Okay. So, that was the 2 stages. That one's all done. Pretty easy. So, in the next video, part 16, we're going to be covering the last of the rift splits for the mini games that we have to do to expand the map. And then we're going to be fighting Caius Ballas and doing some pre-boss leveling up. So, bear with it. Keep following it. Following my guide. I'll help you guys out on every single path. And this has been Mr. GuideKing for part 15 of the Final Fantasy 100% walkthrough.